and go hide in the loft.
I'm here to collect Mr. Hawthorne's rent! Shut that squealing! Or I can fucking squeal now! Christ almighty!
Johnny Fletcher busted into a farmhouse and property cleanup.
You bring me back that stuff to false.
Well, well, look at what we have here. Please don't kill me.
Gentleman John Fletcher! Damn it!
Johnny Fletcher! Don't make me chase you!
I didn't kill nobody. I didn't murder that family.
That don't break me down to me. You're a bounty hunter. You're a wanted man. Here.
Out of the night that covers me, black is the pit from pole to pole. I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeoning of chance, my head is bloody, but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade. And yet the menace of the years finds, and shall find me, unafraid. It matters not how straight the gates, how charged the punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul.
Nocturn. Stand down and no one has to die today.
This only ends one way.
They'll kill you all.
Why not take your chances in a prison cell?
Alright, I'm coming out.
My lord, I have a report.
Speak.
Our latest assassination attempt on Lady Nocturn has failed.
I can see stronger measures are needed. Begin phase 2.
Captured! The notorious Lady Nocturn has been brought in through the valiant efforts of the Void Cobras.
Get on the damn bird.
Prisoner, take 5 steps, then stop and turn to your right.
But the pirates of Velix Mortis are far from defeated.
My lord, I have a report.
Let's cut to the chase, since we both know that this isn't a social call and you didn't come here to waste time.
Fine. High Command is gambling that the attempt on your life by your so-called friends has made you willing to cooperate. Am I wasting my time now?
What fate will befall the disgraced former pirate?
The Minotaur sends his regards, traitor.
What does your High Command want, and what are they offering in return?
High Command wants many things, but it wants a show of good faith first.
Reporting to covering fire.
Bravo Team 1, push up. Bravo 2, give us support.
What next for now infamous mercenaries, the Void Cobras?
I want every last pirate I used to run with dead. I don't want to be watching over my shoulder every hour of every day.
Now you die!
Will the Void Cobras become targets of Lady Nocturn's former pirate comrade?
Attention, crash override. This is Freighter Ebony Hawk. My ship just lost all power and thrust. We're going down. Mayday, mayday, mayday.
There truly is no honor among thieves. You rabble will turn on each other at the slightest provocation.
Okay, fine. Moving past you.
Find out on the next episode of Star Citizen Nocturne.
Jameson, you copy?
Touch me now, I don't want to live without you. Nothing's gonna change my love for you.
Jameson, we require immediate emergency extract.
I don't know, man. It looks kind of hot over there.
Of interest in my life to idiots.
God, oh my God!
Let's get the hell out of here!
Get him off me, get him off me, get him off me! They're getting in my armor! Ah!
I got into collecting bounties when a gang of bandits bushwhacked my wife, my best friend Coyote, and me. Meet the Jones brothers.
To take a look at the situation in which you find yourself.
That's Joshua.
It's gonna have real bad.
What's the Indian word for
Next to him is Rufus the Doofus.
Heck, I don't know.
You're just trying to make me look dumb. All right, I want to
Next
see
to
rifles
him is
on the
Lyman.
ground.
Remember those faces.
And 6.
You'll see him again.
8 hands praising Jesus.
The other ones, well, ain't no use in introducing. They're all dead.
Run!
Obadiah, get the saddlebags! I got him!
I later discovered the Jones brothers were all wanted men. Figured I might as well get paid for taking my revenge. Men, we still wanted for justice.
Post is still on the wall?
So I hunted down the ones we didn't kill. Lyman, he sang like a bird. Rufus and Joshua were smuggling contraband down the river. Always to the same spot. I found a nice perch on a bluff above the river where I knew they would eventually be. During the war, I was a sharpshooter. Coyote's Whitworth came in handy. For weeks, I tracked them. Then I killed them.
If you like our content, we'd appreciate if you'd like, subscribe, and get notifications. Help us extend our reach by sharing our video content. And if you want to help us beat the algorithm, also leave us a comment on some of our videos.
Sir. Mikey, stop.
Yo! Hear me?
What's up? Taco Tuesday. Fam of Liberty and voice of reason.
What's up, everybody?
What's up?
Hey, y'all.
My hot sauce. Made in San Antonio, not New York City.
Hey, come on.
New York City.
Yeah, Mike's from New York City.
No, I'm not from the city.
Oh, true. Well, everything in New York to me is the city because I live in the woods of Pennsylvania. So, like, New York, the whole state of New York is New York City to me.
Basically, just a gigantic state-sized city. Just all we know down here in Pennsylvania.
Is Manhattan bigger than Connecticut? No, I'm kidding.
Oh, Pamela's here. Nice.
I was just saying.
Oh, if I disappear off this thing, like if it just suddenly goes away, it's because we lost power here. I got a pretty bad storm.
Hilarious.
They finally caught on to you, and they're like, "We gotta stop him."
Shipping him off to Alcatraz next.
Humans are controlling the weather, and they're like, "That guy's not on our side anymore."
Right.
The question is, who here has the secret codes to the space laser? You know which one.
I can neither confirm.
Like, honestly, we truly live in the dumbest timeline in human history. We really do.
Absolutely.
Someone
I feel like I might have said that once or twice.
I feel like some guy was out somewhere taking a piss, and he pissed on a butterfly, and it just screwed up the whole continuum.
It started with this gorilla in 2015.
It was a guy who did it, I'm telling
you. Yep.
Oh, man.
It's in Harambe. It's all been downhill.
So, anything big happened in the news the last couple of days?
Let's start with some introductions.
Good idea.
Before we do that.
Yeah.
Who wants to go first?
Everybody knows who I am, so fuck it. But my cat, I swear, I'll be right back.
Let's go.
All right. We're going to introduce the VoR podcast. I'm going to let any one of you can start.
My name, I'm Jeremy Baker, co-creator of the VoR podcast. I'm also a veteran. That's pretty much it. I'm just a regular guy from Pennsylvania who's decided to draw a line in the sand and stand on business. And about 4 years ago, I had an idea, and that idea led to writing a book, and then that book led me to podcasting somehow. I don't know how that timeline happened, but it did, and we're here. And I met Mike online on Instagram and asked him, "Hey, buddy, you want to do a podcast?" He's like, "Yeah, sure."
He literally just messaged me. He's like, "You want to do a podcast?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah, a year and a half later, here we are.
Yeah, so I'm Mike Foligno, and I'm the co-creator of Voice of Reason.
Before you go in, Mike, wait a minute. But before you go in, you just mentioned about the blue leg, or you knew him.
We didn't know each other.
No.
So like,
I just like
posting dumb posting dumb memes about like Trump being a moron, and he was like, "Haha, you're funny. Let's start a podcast." That was literally the extent of it. Literally.
How we got on.
Yep. Year and a half later, here we are.
No, really. I mean, my history is not that interesting. I am not a veteran, but over the years, and especially recently, I have met so many that have changed my mind on a lot of things. And I love it. I love the ability to actually meet people, talk to people, and like Jeremy and I's main goal with the Voice of Reason is to link people together that might not have any reason to ever meet each other, and show that not only we're all mostly agreeing on the important things, but we're all standing up and resisting. And I think it's important for people to see. So that's kind of become our mission.
Outstanding.
That's it. That's all I got. That's my TED Talk.
Well, there you go. Thank you guys so much for coming. We absolutely appreciate it.
Oh yeah.
I've been watching a lot of the content, and we have people who do a lot of the booking, and I have to admit, I didn't know about the podcast until the booking, but since then I've been kind of binging.
Oh, thank you. Really?
And it's awesome, man. It's awesome.
We get it.
We're trying.
We try to do something special because we're a completely self-funded, but it's more like non-funded podcast, and everything that we do, it's just me and Mike.
As Jeremy says, we didn't get the Soros money that we were promised.
Yeah, we forgot to sign up for the George Soros funding, so we do have to unfortunately fund ourselves. We've managed to grow quite a bit though in the last year and a half with just determination and staying on message. And like Mike said, I think the best part of this whole thing has been able to actually meet some of the creators, because we were in DC recently for a rally that we helped organize and promote, and we got to meet so many of the creators that we had on our show.
Yep, for years now. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we work with Stop Moms for Liberty, Liz McIntyre, which is a nationwide organization fighting against fascism in our schools. We work with Defense of Democracy. We have a bunch of influencers that we work with. We've done several shows with people from like the Midas Touch Network, not the Midas Touch Network, but some of their contributors like Fred Wellman and Tennessee Brando. I can't believe I almost forgot his name. Tennessee Brando is one of our best friends of the show. Coach D speaks, and we have a lot of stuff planned. Unfortunately, which I'm sure a lot of people out there realize, is that the hard part about this is getting funding. Right-wing media seems to have endless amounts of funding.
Gee, I wonder why.
Right, mostly from foreign countries, and then we struggle. For the last year and a half, we've been trying to raise funds to put together like an official studio and get proper equipment and stuff, and it's been the challenge.
What happened is we got to really enjoy the activism part of it, and we're just like babies when it comes to that. But we really loved being able to be a part of fightaagainstfascism.org. If you want to check them out, they are awesome,
baby.
Yep. Again, we keep working with veterans. We find ourselves meeting more and more of them. We find ourselves intertwining with the education monstrosity that's happening right now. And like I said before, just so many people have no idea that they're not as isolated as they are. And one of the things we've been really into lately is going to protests to specifically show people that either can't, don't want to, too scared, might be, ripped off the street, be able to be there otherwise. And we're getting a lot of good feedback that, like, you know what, just being able to see that other people are taking the risks and are fighting and are speaking out, it's hopefully inspiring people, but we've gotten a lot of good responses from it. So like now we get to meet all of you, and hopefully that network grows and we could all help each other. And because as insidious as the right is, they are freaking coordinated, and no one can say otherwise that they are not coordinated from the top down. And we're trying to fight back from the bottom up, and that's why our struggle is more difficult, and that's why it's going to mean more when we win, because we are building actual connections. We're not just using each other.
You can't have that.
But that's it.
And that was a theme around one of the videos we put out very recently, was to show the protests and just how wide and varied the crowds of people are across this country who are very much in the fight. And also to show off his snarky enough amount of protest signs as we could get into one video.
No, I love some protest signs. They are getting, like, you know, like growing up, you're like, oh, the 60s, they had some cool protest signs. They did, but we are getting some sassy, clever nonsense that I love, and it is just tearing into people. I love every second of it.
Mm-hmm. I had to sit through literally about 1,000 pictures from all the different protest signs, trying to pick a bunch of them to throw into the video. And it was tough. A lot of you sent in a lot of great photos. And if you didn't make this cut for this video, we will find a way to use the rest of your pictures, believe me, because you all had some great shit.
We had a lot of fun.
Write a protest song.
We had a lot of fun at the protest. I mean, the protest has been a blast. I think everybody should go, despite the obvious threats, which we've seen are mostly just that. They just like to talk a lot of shit. They don't actually like to back it up.
Yep.
You know, even though they're talking about suspending our civil rights and suspending habeas corpus and all that stuff, I mean, we're not going to stop. We understand the risks. You know, we understand we could have a first class ticket down to El Salvador if things go sideways, but if you're not going to stand up and fight, right? It's closer.
A piece of American history while I'm incarcerated and tortured, I guess, for being a liberal.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
but
I am
amazing. We're being threatened.
I've kind of resolved that I am not going to go quietly. Like, I'm at a point now where I'm like, I'm almost 50. I have one son who's already an adult, and I have another son who's rapidly on his way there. So I'm like, all right, well, you know, they survived infancy and toddlerhood, and
they'll be all right.
I didn't accidentally back over them with a car or anything crazy. Like, that shit happened to me when I was a kid, so it's my benchmark. So I'm like, okay, served my country. I drank a lot of beer. I had a lot of sex. Had 2 kids. I'm good.
Only 2?
At this point, if they try to round me up, I'm just gonna be like, you know what? I stay strapped. Let's go, motherfucker.
Yeah, you just pretty much described my life. Actually, it's
well, you know, I think that we joke about it, but that goes to the whole thing that they so like underestimate what their opposition is going to look like, because they are going to push it to that. You know, we want to pretend that it won't. I'm not someone that thinks words have magic in the sense that if I don't say it, it won't happen. It's going to happen because we're watching it happen. And it's going to come to the point where they still, when they wake up every morning, they think everyone that's a leftist or, you know, whatever, hates guns, doesn't know how to defend themselves, or won't just choke you out if you have to. But like when they come marching with their little face masks that make them tough guys, they're going to have a very different response. And I think a good part of it is, what is there to lose if we're fighting to defend our democracy, like old times, if you will, like we're actually fighting to that level? What else is there to lose? If you're coming for my freedom because it's that or democracy, I have nothing to lose.
Exactly.
It's true.
You have 2 known factors. Either they're going to take you or they're not. All right. So if they do take you, what's going to happen? Who the fuck even knows?
Yeah,
you could be a white guy. They could take you off the street. So the odds are you're either going to resist and they're going to beat your ass or kill you, or they're going to ship you off to a fucking prison in El Salvador and turn you into one of their prison slaves or whatever the fuck they're doing down there. And somebody down there is probably going to kill you. So either way, it's going to be a bad time. My philosophy is, I wasn't put on this earth to take shit from nobody. I survived 2 combat tours. Those guys over there couldn't do it with all our fucking mortar rockets and bullets and grenades and IEDs. I didn't come back here to get sidelined by a fucking fellow ginger bearded ice guy. Nah.
You know, one of the friends of our show and someone who I've known for a long time said that it's I'm going to paraphrase, but not too much, that it's a way to live when your country is your abuser, when your country is the person that is coming after you. And it's like, what the hell is going on? You know, I'm just trying to live my life. I'm not bothering anyone. The bullies who want to pick on people are winning. And unfortunately, the resistance isn't where it needs to be yet, because we don't have politicians backing us. You know, like even today, the Democrats it looks like they're going to renege on their vote for leadership for the two young ones. I forget their names right now. Because
David Hogg and
yeah, I apologize for not remembering the name.
Yeah.
But like they're scared because the centrist Dems want to bend the knee, so they think they'll get picked to sit at the cool kids table. You're not going to get picked to sit at the cool kids table. We don't need to back off woke and DEI and all that shit. What we need to back off is being complicit in letting this happen to us. So if we don't have politicians defending us or being allowed to defend us from within the party, it's going to get to the point where they're going to have to fuck around and find out in the streets. And it sucks because I'm not someone that's ever spoken like that. And I don't want to have to deal with that.
Yeah.
But you know what?
I mean, let's be honest though, like resistance only lasts so long. You know what I mean? If they don't listen, there's only one next logical step, you know, and I don't know if they're ready for that. But yeah, I mean, MAGA's delusional. MAGA is delusional. Like I tell people, just like stop trying to convince your MAGA friends and your MAGA relatives. Like maybe one day they'll realize they fucked up, but until then, stop wasting your time. Like let's start focusing on uniting us because we're still not united. And like Mike said, that's literally why MAGA and Trump are so powerful, is because they are united in their stupidity and their hate.
They piss on each other to put out each other's fire, but they
MAGA
know how to use each other.
They're professional goalpost movers. Like every time Donald Trump does something stupid, like now they're like the jet, $400 million jet. Now these idiots are like, well, France gave us the Statue of Liberty. I'm like, oh my fucking God.
Wait, did someone say that?
God. Yes, that is what MAGA is saying now. And I sit here like bashing my head off my desk. Like, how dumb can this possibly get? Sorry, I went on a little rant though. Oh, side note, if you could do me a favor, our Linktree does not have VoR at the end. It's just the Sergeant Nobody.
Yeah, so StreamYard does not recognize line breaks, and there's actually a line break between Nobody and VoR. It actually says VoR YouTube. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to post the link tree.
It's in the description of the video, I believe, so we're good there.
It is.
Oh,
it is. Yeah.
Funny story, real quick. Funny story. Just because the name of your show is Sons of Liberty. All of this started, this idea I had on February 20th of 2021 literally started after I watched, I don't know if you've ever seen the show Sons of Liberty, but there is an actual like mini series called Sons of Liberty, and it is all about the beginning and the unification of, you know, the rebels, I guess, so to speak, against the king and against England and everything they had to go through. And they had to put their differences aside because it was rich and poor trying to work together. Yes, I understand the racial aspect of the whole thing back then. But at the same time, these people were willing to commit acts of treason against the king in order to form this country. And it just made me realize that if we were able to put all of our differences aside, because Donald Trump and his Nazi fascist army are literally just trying to push a wedge between us to keep us fighting each other, so they can keep taking bribes and, you know, jets. And I mean, what's next? Gold statues. I mean,
they already had gold statues.
Jesus.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You're talking about
he did to the Oval Office. He basically threw up Goldschlager all over the office.
Yeah. So I saw you guys comparison. I saw you guys comparison of the offices, right? I think it was Biden's. Yeah, you guys had that on your podcast, and Biden. It's just classy, you know, all the pictures of the dead presidents and
like,
nice
what is it supposed
white
to be?
walls. And then you showed the comparison with the gold.
It's so gaudy, man. It's
all trophies and his name on it.
The guy has a gold toilet. What?
Well, you know,
it's the White House,
you know,
bro.
the reason Trump loves the Saudis so much is because he wishes he was a king. But what he really wants is remember, like, if anyone's read up about the Middle Ages, the king had someone, the royal asswipe. Like, think about that. Donald Trump would have that person sitting in the Oval Office to change his diaper if he was allowed to. But I think that's the limit of what he can get away with.
All I can think of was the movie Coming to America, where they're like, asswipe up.
And you always remember
literally Donald Trump, man.
Gotta quote classics.
So he has the Coca-Cola button, so.
Yeah. Oh my God, did you guys... I'm sorry, I have to bring this up. Did you guys hear that the Saudis brought Donald Trump a mobile McDonald's?
Mobile McDonald's,
yes. A mobile McDonald's command center.
This is so
I gotta tell you, the more and more stupid... okay, this is my twisted brain. The more and more he's brazen enough to go to places like this and let them do stuff like that. Like, do you really think service checked out that thing? No, they didn't. We're going to get like an Operation Valkyrie situation. You mark my words.
Look, those
What is
Big
gonna
Macs
try-
gotta add up.
Where do I sign up?
sooner or
Yeah,
later.
Where do I sign up?
I'm just saying, some random fry cook in Riyadh is like, yep, extra salty.
Yep. Filled that with ground down glass.
I mean, let's be honest. We know for sure that plane has got to be bugged. I mean, they would have to rip that thing down to the rivets.
Absolutely.
That's something I saw today. You know, we're worried about the obvious illegality of it and the fact that it's clearly there to spy on us and transport illegal, secret documents. But like we're getting the plane and they're going to spend hundreds of millions of dollars to turn it into Air Force One. It's not a mobile command center. It doesn't have any sophisticated technology to prevent against, espionage or electronic warfare. It doesn't even have like reinforced anything. It's not meant to be a plane like that. So where you, me, all of us here tonight are going to be paying for that retrofit. So it wasn't a gift to the government, to us. It was a gift directly to him that we will then in turn pay for. It's like having to pay for stadiums that billionaires seem to not have money for.
He plans to give to his library so he can use it after he's out of office.
Library.
Yep. We all know damn well Donald Trump can't read. You don't need a goddamn library.
He said he invented the word exceptional the other day, or what word was that?
Oh, equalize.
Equalizer.
I made
Equalizer.
He thinks he made up groceries too, or resurrected it.
You know,
old timey
things
language.
in
Nobody had used it before. It was a word. It's been around a long time. And
Caravan is another one.
But you never heard anyone say it until Trump brought it back.
Caravan.
I just made up the word equalizer. Equalize. He has to pronounce it, sound it out like you're the dumb one, not me. Equalize.
You know, I love when he does that.
He's
I
hearing
love
it for
when
the
he
first
says
time.
something that he just learned and he doesn't
Right.
understand. Everyone learned that in literal first grade. Like, did you know you can
Groceries.
actually tie both ends of your shoelace together and make a little bow? Yes.
No one else knew this.
Nobody
I
else
am the
does
first to tie the shoelaces. No one else ever tried.
Everyone says I tie the most beautiful shoelaces.
Everyone says with tears in their eyes, they say, "Sir, you tie the bravest shoelaces, the best shoelaces."
That's funny.
And
Gerard,
people are saying this.
You should be
Gerard,
holding a
in your
Bible upside
comment-
down. That's how I know it's true.
one of your comments was the equalizer on TV the night before he said that. No, but fun fact, Escape from Alcatraz was on in Florida the night before Donald Trump came up with his Alcatraz. That's
It
a
was,
fact.
yeah. You know what's really funny to me is I have been to Alcatraz.
This is hilarious.
And I've done the tour, and I'm
really?
sure probably some of you guys have too. And it's like literally you're stepping out onto a crumbling
Oh yeah.
piece of garbage. I mean, like there's no, the plumbing doesn't work, nothing works. I mean, it's just the craziest thing. And then when I heard that it was on the night before, I thought, oh, okay, it makes sense. It makes sense that he thinks this is some great ingenious idea.
I get it. He's an idiot.
The only good thing that can come from this is if he watches, someone just slips him the rock on his new Qatar Force One, and he tries to hire Sean Connery as like his new head of.
That'd be great.
I mean, I think that'd work. I want the original immortal that taught Connor McLeod how to run our defense, but that's just me.
He's been dead
I
for
got a
hot
quick
minute. It's
question.
gonna be a tough one, but you know what? I look forward to the search or whoever has to explain that to him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Since we were just in Saudi Arabia, he goes there today, has a speech or an entire schlong stroking exercise that he does when he goes to places that are happy to do it for him. But he supposedly signed these deals. And this is, I mean, first of all, the way that the media reports on deals by Donald Trump, as if that's the president's job. Like, well, we're going to be selling you this and that. Oh, and this company is going to do this, as if that's the president's job, is bonkers to me. But so he secured a deal for American businesses somehow, capitalism, and one of them is $20 billion for AI and energy infrastructure in America. I want to know what you guys think about this, because every time I hear it, number one, we're talking about we're talking about these gigantic energy consuming, resource consuming buildings that take over entire cities and take up as much energy and resources as an entire state that's not going to human beings anymore. It's just going to his meme coin. And I'm always baffled as to how when this is reported, nobody says, what do you guys think this is? What do you guys think about the idea? And am I missing something, man?
Like, what's the plan, right? What's the plan? Because we know there's no such thing as a Trump plan, but let's pretend there is. He's not going to do anything that benefits all of us, right? He's not going to move towards a more agrarian, greener architecture and a concept of, city design like they are in Asian countries, where you have these beautiful towers that have actual greenery built into insane, beautiful, futuristic stuff, right? No, he's going to build data farms to burn holes down into the planet from so much heat running, Elon's AI programs. When he talks about infrastructure, people don't even know what infrastructure is. Okay. When you complain every day that your roads are shit, that's infrastructure. They don't think that that's how this works. But what Donald Trump is going to do with that money is give it to his billionaires in contracts and whatever it is. Like, it's going to be infrastructure for casinos, or my fear, this is now how the money starts getting funneled to the Christian nationalists to start building communities that could segregate again. Because let's face it, they're already starting to do these insidious things. Media just pretends it's not happening because they have no concept of how to report that to the American people that never knew it was happening, because they never reported on it originally. So they can't start talking about what's been happening, like with Project 2025. That's what the infrastructure is going to go to, not making sure schools are safer, not making sure every factory has good air conditioning, stuff like that. That's infrastructure. Building schools, building colleges, free colleges. You could build infrastructure in a way that benefits society. This is not going to be that.
Well, look at what Elon's doing is XAI. He's just destroying local communities by burning these turbines and spewing toxic methane gas into the air. These people don't care about the environment. They care about profit. That's it. 100% profit, which kind of makes them predictable, though, because everything they do is all about the money.
Well, no, you can see what they're doing already, right? Because they've already lessened the restrictions on the polluting. They're trying to get rid of OSHA, all that type of stuff. So you're right.
We got
not to mention they've got Elon's fantasy of building company towns again.
That is true.
Right. That worked out so well for people. Spend your Elon bucks at the company store. No need to ever leave.
Elon,
get back to work.
Look up.
And what do you get?
Look up technology.
Yeah, here we go with the network state, right?
Yeah.
So the idea is, in my mind, and I'd like to thank, because he said the same thing. Gordon Briggs. Crypto, like all other dictatorships that we have now, they're trying to use crypto as a way to just subvert real money and not have to deal with sanctions. But also, these states, these network states that I think Elon and Thiel and the rest of them are trying to do, just so happen to coincide with what white nationalists have always wanted, where they won't have to. The idea is to use AI to continuously mine Bitcoin or whatever coin or Dogecoin or whatever it is, so they can be independent states and only answer to themselves. The white. It's happening right now in Tennessee, right? It's a gigantic white nationalist community, independent.
Now we're bringing more white people
and unaccountable.
Now we're importing white people.
Right.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
No, it really is scary, because Americans have so long been force-fed the patriotic stars and stripes bullshit, but not being taught what it means to be a citizen, what it means to be a civic-minded human being, and we are going to allow all these things to happen because so many people just were racist bigots and thought that this brash, disgusting scumbag that had the intelligence that they did represented them, because they had nothing and they really just were hoping that they would get a piece. They're not going to get anything, but yet they're still going to fight for him. And when he makes these deals, let's face it, that deal, like you said, what we call a deal, right? You can't say I'm taking a plane from you and then 3 days later say, hey, $600 billion investment. Like, there's no legal recourse for that not to be a bribe. That is, by your own way you're saying it, a bribe. But they're giving me a plane. I'm giving them contracts. They're giving us money. What are you giving? Like that? Come on.
Here's what I don't understand about the situation. It's like Qatar openly has funded Hamas, if I'm not mistaken, right?
You have. Correct.
Donald Trump's all buddies with Israel. I wonder. I think Israel's not very happy about this.
Yeah,
also,
you notice
he
left off Bibi on his Mideast trip. He's not going to Israel this trip.
That's right. That's right. He's
the
not
only
going.
reason I might disagree, Jeremy, is because this is me being conspiracy which I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but this is one of those ones that's starting to line up in my brain. We know the whole Israel-Gaza thing is just obviously what it is. So when we know that they're not there to fight Hamas, and you take them out of the picture and you realize, well, if they're not fighting Hamas, they don't give a fuck about them because it's all about controlling the entire Middle East. And look what Trump is helping them all do. He's giving money to all of them. He's going to help Israel. He's going to help Saudi Arabia. He's loving Qatar, right? So like, look at what's actually happening. They're all building a network of scumbags, and Elon Musk is in the audience, like hallucinating.
Well, look at who went with Trump. All the tech bros went to Saudi. Elon went. I think Peter Thiel went. Sam Altman was there.
Sweet money.
It's all about the money, man. This is a big cash grab.
Yep.
So,
and they're going to have great internet access with Starlink.
Yeah, and that's going to control what comes in and out. Before you know it,
and allow him to filter things as it goes through.
Right. Exactly. So. Here's another thing that I'm trying to look for the video I did last year. This was last year on it, but if I can't find it, I'll try to muddle through what I remember. So, doing some research, when Kushner met with when Kushner, this is the first term, the first Reich, or the fourth Reich. This is now the fifth. When Kushner met with United Arab Emirates, Qatar, all these places, he had with him the once financial advisor of Israel, right? The same guy who left there and went and became a big part of this firm. Now, investment firm. Next thing you know, they're there and they signed these accords. Now, the reason why none of these Muslim nations worried or did anything with Israel was because of the fact that they were, taking over land that they considered should be Muslim land. None of that changed, but somehow, after being there with Kushner, after being there with a once the financial minister of Israel, who ended up just being a big firm that deals with real estate, all of a sudden, Qatar, UAE, and a bunch of other places I can't remember. Well, you know what? Maybe we will start working with Israel. Maybe we'll sign this deal, and maybe we can start sharing money. All of a sudden, next thing you know, we're bombing Gaza Strip. Now, call it a conspiracy theory if you want to. One thing I know is I don't think I'm an idiot. I don't think. Maybe I don't know that, but I don't think I'm an idiot. It's strange to me. It's strange to me that you, all of a sudden, your Muslim beliefs that you've held so stringently because of the death and destruction going on in your mind, were so easily given up by all of the kings and all of the countries that used to be against it. And immediately after that, you're bombing Gaza. And then in the Fifth Reich now, we're talking about putting a Trump Tower there. To me, I'm telling you that whatever financing of Hamas that or any of it, whatever any of it that was being done, has absolutely nothing to do with ideology or religion.
No,
it
it's
was simply
beachfront property.
because the kings, the rich kings and the rich leaders of these places have decided that, well, we can use Gaza for our personal Riviera.
Yes.
And I'll tell you what, I want a piece of it. So we're going to go ahead and make this deal. And I think 3 years after making that deal, within the 3 years was a whole bunch of almost started wars, but wasn't big enough. They wanted to. They wanted to. They don't care about that stuff. Just like the Christians here don't care about Christ or God or the Bible. They only care about the power.
It's the money. Always the
it's
money.
the money. The money and the power. That's it. Well, and it's power for most of these redneck fake Christians. It's really the power, because I know I'll never have the money, but if I could just at least be able to beat a bitch up and not get in trouble for it, then I'm on top of the world. If I could call a black person the N-word and I'm on top of the world. And you know what? I'm ready for that. I know I'll never have enough money, but god dang it, at least them knackups is not on the same level as me.
Well, look at what the plan is, right? We on our show always try and make a point of saying, if it's our opinion, we'll tell you. If it's fact that we could back up, we will tell you so. Conspiracies are built off people who honestly think coincidence can't happen. They can. So what you got to do is you got to follow the actions and the money, because in our world that we live in, our world's fundamental genetics is money. Okay. The reason there are countries in Africa that are being exploited into oblivion is because of the minerals that get people money. Everything that happens is because of money. Now, second, just under that is racism and misogyny. Just under the money. It's why Donald Trump.
It's close.
It's why Donald Trump can be a racist. And when people say prove it, it takes about 4 hours to go through all the examples because he's a racist. But
I know.
He's not racist enough to not accept $600 billion in a plane from Saudi Arabians. So it's not a conspiracy when you could follow it logically. And what you see what they're trying to do is they're trying to make it so that we have no choice but to comply, because at some point they're going to control all of our power, all of our, like you were saying, filter what's on our TV, filter what we say, filter who we talk to. They are trying to do this because people laugh at this. Science fiction does predict reality, because
unfortunately
people looking at technology and humanity and expecting the worst out of it. And guess what? We always exceed those expectations. Look at what they are doing. They are trying to narrow us into boxes. They are trying to make sure we don't have options. They're trying to make sure we all think that we're all the same this and the same that. They promote individuality by demanding conformity. That's what they're working on.
They're delusional, though. I think they're delusional, though. Like, there's an argument on MAGA right now. Like, you guys, if you're on social media, everybody's heard the argument of, like, who would win a silverback gorilla or 100 men, and like people are literally trying to pick this apart. Well, now on Twitter, it's like of course they had to make it racist, so they're like, well, if there was a race war, us white people would win because we far outnumber you. And I made a video like, motherfucker, who do you think I'm fighting for? I don't even like y'all. Like, like you honestly think if a race war breaks out of white people that aren't racist assholes are automatically just going to join you because we're the same skin color? It's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life.
Because that's how their brain works. That's how their brains function. They think
I'm going to go hang out with the black people.
The same, and they think women are a biological feed bag, and they think non-white people are just the worst. And if you wouldn't side with the rest of us fellow whites, how could you even conceive of that? Because we're not assholes. It's really that simple. Like, not everyone is a piece of shit.
I'm gonna go hang out with the black people because I know I'm gonna get fed.
Fuck yeah. And guess what? All the music everyone fucking listens to came from black people. You like country music? Black people. You like rock and roll? Black people. Fucking Jimi Hendrix. That's all I gotta say. I'm done.
It all comes back to the same theory that's been pushed by, Charles Manson. from day one. He thought he was going to start a race war and that the people of color were going to win, but they wouldn't be smart enough to run it. So then he and his followers would emerge, and they would, of course, go, "Oh, a lone white man. We want you to be our ruler." Literally, this is what his theory was. This is how he thought it was going to play out.
I have this crazy theory. Because we all know how Donald Trump is running the Nazi playbook. He's first attacking trans and LGBTQ, then he's going after immigrants. I have a feeling this whole South Africa migrant thing is a play to try and demonize the black community. Because he's straight up telling everybody that white people are being murdered. And their farms are being stolen. Like I know this sounds crazy, but I swear,
like it was 30 years ago.
Right.
Yeah, I have a mega person in my social feed who is on about sharing all these videos that are very clearly not very credible of, just ubiquitous violence happening at some point in history with no clear indicator of where it is and when, and going, "Oh, this was definitely a farmstead in South Africa 2 weeks ago. You can see they're killing all the white people." You could barely see like someone in the distance is like firing an AK-47 at someone else somewhere else. It's like, probably from Syria. They're saying it's South Africa. They realize their target audience can't tell the difference.
They don't know.
These
are the same people that shared a concert from like Elton John and said it was a Donald Trump rally when it was like in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. I forget I forgot about that. You remember that?
Yeah.
They're like, clearly not the United States.
Remember when they claimed that the Houston Rockets victory parade was a MAGA rally? Because it was all the red hats and shirts for all the Houston fans.
That's funny.
No, you bring up the most important point though. Despite anything else, the absolute biggest danger that has been cultivated and that we're dealing with is stupidity forced upon people. Like you built the cult. And you told them that nothing exists except what I say. Now you literally are showing Elton John crowds and saying it's Trump. Now you're saying white people are being murdered everywhere, and you're showing a black and white photo of the Civil fucking War, and they're like, "Yeah, that sounds right to me," right? And
it fits their narrative. It fits what they want the world to be. So of course,
framing is everything.
So here comes the next problem. I asked this question in our chat. I've been trying to think about it and kind of war game it out. If there's nothing going on in South Africa that is no different from what's been going on there, like just a country, we can assume that the reason why you consider yourself a refugee, like Elon, is because you just can't take the fact that it's not the normal order of things, right?
Exactly.
Black folks are now in charge. You have to be equal. You can't just take all the money. You have to share land. You may see richer black people than you. Oh my God, they're intermixing, right?
Don't get
and
up,
so
Lee.
this is a terrible, terrible, disgusting thing to them because that's just not how order is. It shouldn't be that way, and it's hard to imagine that for some people, but I've been able to imagine that. If I was that person and you really think that this is just, I mean, it's stupid to see it any other way, yeah, you feel bad. What do you see in America that brings you here?
There was
are you being promised that this is the next apartheid state? Like, if you come here,
it already is.
Yes.
If you come here,
that's how it's being promoted in social media that they are pushing. I shared a couple of screenshots in our admin chat. They are pushing that it's like, we can put society the way it should be. Come to America. And then, advertising all these lavish benefits for these immigrants that they're going to give. Suddenly MAGA loves giving benefits to immigrants. Housing, a monthly stipend of pay, assistance with job finding, and plus you won't have to live in those neighborhoods.
No. They don't have good schools. You wouldn't expect a white person to go to such a school.
America's by design, though. The stupidity in this country is by design. Rich people never wanted us to rise up as a poor community because we far outnumber the rich people. It's the same way it works in South Africa. Like a very small percentage of the white population, or I'm sorry, a very small percentage of the population, white people, own the majority of the wealth.
There's a lot of poor white people in South Africa that are in the exact same boat as the poor black South Africans. And just from my very basic understanding, and there's a reason why I look into it a little bit. I'll get to that. But for the most part, while there is obviously racism between them, I think they do share in general more of an understanding that their government and the rich people are fucking them. Here, the white people here cannot get past their racism to see it. They just freaking can't. But we've covered this a bunch of times, the link between specifically Elon and the Nazi history about how his grandparents left Europe after the war, went to Canada, saw apartheid going on in South Africa, and they were like, shit, this reminds us of sunny old Dachau and all the other camps. Let's go there now. And now they're coming here. Why? Because racist to the level that the Nazis were, that still exist in America as a political party and always have. Now they're starting to realize we can get people to come here. We seize the power. We can make our white little Christian nationalist paradise. And now they're showing you that they've been advertising it because now we got the first boat over here.
Wow.
It's not two words about it. It is just blatantly come here and be a new master race nonsense.
But you know what's funny though? This is exactly what the right accused Biden of doing with Mexicans. This is exact. They're like, he's bringing them over and registering them to vote and giving them $5,000 debit cards. And the right was like, oh my God, that's horrible. Now you got white people being imported, getting the exact same things that Biden was not giving to immigrants. And they celebrate it because they're white. It bothers me to no end how ignorant
it gives them more money to donate to that GoFundMe for the lady that called a 5-year-old the N-word.
Oh God!
Yeah, she's now a millionaire.
She gets upward of over 750,000 now.
So wait a minute, guys. Hold on. Real quick. On Twitch, we got a channel and that says the political drain. Okay, this is the other channel, and this guy that we have hosting there brought this up and just showed the Piers Morgan interview where the other lady, who I won't say her name to give her any shout out, just all she's good for is all she's good for is opening her legs and talking the N-word. That's the only two things she promotes is being the receptacle for her husband and being a mouthpiece for the N-word. That's it. That's the only qualification.
She doesn't even make dinner.
You know what's funny? You know the hilarious part about this whole bullshit story? They promote Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Wait a minute. So, anyways, despite my vulgar interpretation of it, you understand what I'm saying. So I repost this and I'm saying this was a great conversation that we had on Twitch, blah blah blah. And this guy goes in the comment section and says, race baiting anyone?
God, they have three phrases. Soy boy.
Race baiting.
You
mean the person calling the other person the N-word is
they're trying to now they stole patriotism. They stole all these different things.
Well, the new one
steal racism now.
Yeah,
that's
the new term. Doing. The new term they're going with is black fatigue. That is what the right has decided. Oh, I have white fatigue. Fuck, I'm white and I have white fatigue. Shit. You know what I mean? But just to get back on that point, the lady in that Piers Morgan interview that, she's like, oh yeah, I guess I'm a racist if I use the N-word all the time. She goes on TikTok and calls herself a trad wife. Okay, for those of you who don't know what that is a right-wing movement of traditional wives where they promote cooking and cleaning up after their husband, right, and popping out babies. The only problem is she has a job, so she's not even a traditional wife. And from what I understand, she has a mixed race kid too, so she can fuck right off with all that noise that she's making.
The thing is, what has happened is not to say mediocrity, right? Not having to have any skills, has been something that has always been okay for rich white people, right?
Yep.
You're always failing up, the son of so and so, blah blah blah.
Yep.
What they have created now is an economy based on who can be the worst.
Yes.
The worst. Like the worst you are, you're not. If someone's more racist than you, then they can get more money. If you're black and you can shine a knob like a white knob like nobody else, you too can be rich. And so this lady goes on Piers Morgan, and they say, why are you supporting this person who called a young black autistic child the N-word? Free speech. And Piers says, no.
Hate speech is not protected.
Do you say that word? And she says, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what? So you're just a racist? Yes. And you're unabashed? Yes. And so he goes, so you realize that makes you a despicable human being? And she goes, I don't care. And I wouldn't either if I had no morals and I was making $1 million and being on Piers Morgan and never had to do anything to do it.
Yeah, I agree.
Her incentive
crazy.
Is the more racist and disgusting and foul-mouthed and idiotic and stupid and backwards I can be, the more money I get.
It's a career choice. It's a career
choice.
If you follow the money is always there. The truth has been that this has been happening through the conspiracy theories, through the pandemic, through all of that. All of those absolute trash humans that became famous from all of that are famous because, they did these horrible things, and also they're making crap tons of money from it. You know what I mean? They're riding it all the way to the bank, and who can blame them? I mean, Tim has even said oftentimes, like, "Oh, I wish we had no souls and we had no morals, and we could just, make some kind of crazy thing to send it to, to sell to them, some T-shirt they would love or something." And we always laugh and joke about it, but the truth is, we would just never. I would never.
I agree.
In a million years,
joked about the same thing.
Sell like I said, or say any of those things.
Yeah, we could all be right-wing grifters tomorrow and probably be living pretty good. I mean, they buy anything. Anything, literally.
Is that these are the people that are claiming the moral high ground. They claim that they're to protect families, kids, whatever. The moral, we are so chaste and we are just perfect, right? But they are the ones that have lessened the value of their own lives to the point of just being willing to accept pay for an action. They don't have morality, like you're saying. They don't physically even grasp what morality is, because they have, no matter how much church they go to, no matter what they quote, no matter that, in the end, these are people that worship power via money over everything else in their lives.
Oh yeah,
money is morality. Yep. Money is
and
morality.
don't get Doug and I started on the fact that who are the actual pedos? Okay.
Oh yeah.
We have a list of 260 names of Republican-leaning people who have been arrested for such crimes.
How many?
Oh, that's right.
How many drag
wait a minute.
queens
I haven't updated you yet. 260 was a long time ago. Yeah.
Oh, where are we at now?
I think we're up to. If we also add, we're just going to do politicians,
right?
Church leaders. If we add in church leaders, okay, I'll take out church leaders because we know
that's a big chunk.
Yeah, that skews the results.
We'll go all politicians from school board up.
Oh my God!
We're at. I mean,
there's a lot of creeps on school board.
Let's just say from 2020. All right, let's just say from 2020. From 2020, school board up. My team here has put together. I think we're at 620.
Shut up. Are you serious?
620 something. Oh, yeah.
And it's like an actual list that we can send to you. And Doug said, I said, how many Democrats do you have? And he said 25 because I couldn't find any more. Like literally, I did all this research.
That's insane.
Couldn't find any more.
We'll still search. I mean, we've kind of stopped searching for the Democrats because it became a fool's errand.
Statistically,
Right.
it's not relevant.
Yeah, it just become not relevant. But I just do it to ensure that when somebody asks me, well, did you look at the I did do it too?
Yes,
I can just
we
pull
did.
out all the names in a spreadsheet and send it to you in your email, you racist
Because you know
prick.
why?
And you fake Christian fuck. I'm going to tell you that everything you do with your life on Sunday morning has to do with the kids who are effed over because you give the pedos money to give money to more pedos that destroy kids' life and talk about people reading books instead. I'm sorry. Continue.
Hey,
As you
all
were
I
saying.
gotta say is we haven't seen Epstein files yet.
Yeah,
rumor has it,
and we won't ever.
No, rumor
No.
has
Won't
it.
ever.
They're spreading the shit out of that stuff. Yeah, we'll never see that.
We will
It'll
never
come later day. But
It
Magnus,
was.
I
It
think
made a
they're just starting to
headline one
realize.
day. They
Yeah.
handed out a binder, made a headline one day, and now you'll never hear about it again.
Yep.
An
And
empty
you know what?
binder, by the way.
And because Maggie can't even research how to, like a recipe, all they have to do is realize that they even were like the day they put it out. What was it? Pam Bondi or someone was like, it was a mistake. We're retract. And there's nothing. Goodbye.
But what kills me
I like
is
that he gets in there and it's just like, nope, definitely nothing in here. Definitely not about me. Nothing. There's nothing.
I just
to.
love how they're like,
Even though he had the keys to Epstein's plane.
what they were
Remember the
best friends
Simpsons
for
episode?
15 years.
Remember the Simpsons episode where Homer he shoved a crayon up his nose or something, and he became like the world's smartest guy. And he's like, he was talking to Ned Flanders. He's like, I found a mathematical equation that disproves the existence of God. And Ned reads it and looks at it. And he's like, oh, that checks out. And he throws it in the fireplace. That's the Epstein files.
Terrifyingly accurate.
You know what's funny about the ones they released in that binder? They were actually more redacted than stuff that was already publicly known. Yep. They actually redacted public information. I'm like, these people are idiots. They're idiots.
You know what's
funny? Idiots.
Tim, what you just said about that episode where he throws it in the fire, that's exactly why we'll never know what's in the Vatican archives.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know. We got an American Pope now, and he seems to play the game pretty well. He posted a picture. Yeah, he posted a picture of himself dressed in a suit, sitting in the Oval Office to thank Trump for his picture of Trump as Pope.
Did he really? Wow.
He did.
Yeah.
I
love it.
We got a troll as
that's
we got
great.
a troll for Pope.
All right.
I love it.
I am not a big fan.
I'm not ready.
But in this instance, that might be one of the highest level troll jobs that there has ever been in humanity.
Oh, no.
From the Pope.
All right. This is what you why do you go online after this show and watch the video of Donald Trump standing there like a dipshit saluting while the Saudis played they played the national anthem like a fifth grade marching band. It was so off key.
It's funny that
so bad. I swear they did it on purpose. And he's just standing there like this the whole time.
It's funny you brought that up, Jeremy, because I actually just posted about it before we went live tonight. Like, think about it. There's video now of Donald Trump saluting Saudi generals. We have pictures of when he was saluting North Korean generals. We have pictures now of Donald Trump standing with a backdrop of the Saudi Arabian flag, praising, literally slobbing and glazing the knob of the Saudi prince. Like, the prince is there going, yay, and Elon's in the back like, woo, space. and like, MAG is okay with that. Okay? Like, they're perfectly okay with that.
It's like every bad guy in every 80s movie ever.
Yes.
And that's who Trump worships.
It's like the
I'm waiting for this
movie bad guy.
The military guys in here will know it. I'm waiting for this salute. That's all I'm waiting.
My goodness.
I'm just
coming.
British salute.
Yeah.
I'm just like, yeah, we give up. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, the band salute.
But
you know, it's crazy. He'll call our veterans suckers and losers, and he'll sit there and salute foreign military members. It just pisses. I just.
And he'll tell the DoD staff he doesn't want any of the wounded veterans.
Oh yes,
right.
No one
because
wants
it makes
to
them
see
uncomfortable.
That
Jesus fucking Christ, dude,
makes them uncomfortable.
Look, you know, I want to say, you know, now here I'm meeting another group of veterans, and again, we keep seeming to collect veteran friends, and it's awesome. And the reason it's important to me is I have had both my grandparents serve. I have people in my extended family that serve, my wife's family that served. And I've always had respect for the military and veterans, but I also had it in my head, without really talking to many, that we were so screwed because every single person in the military was just going to do whatever Trump said. And I want to extend that thanks to all of you that have changed my mind, that not only is there not everyone going to follow those orders, but we have a lot of veterans that are going to be like, hey, you forgot that there's a lot more of us that aren't active duty than those that are active. So I want to thank you guys for that.
Very
I think
true.
the only bad part, though, is we have veterans on both, because there's plenty of racist veterans out there.
Yeah, but they're not, I don't think they're the same amount. It's just like everything else, right? We know that there's a shitload of veterans in this, a shitload of racists in this country, but we also know how many people didn't vote. So it's easy to say when we see the huge numbers of assholes, the people that didn't vote still overwhelmingly tend to agree with our side of things.
True.
So I'm starting to realize now that the veteran wall and the military wall has been broken through in my stupid little brain, I'm not saying I'm confident, but like there's a lot more people that are on our side, and the more people that are finally getting screwed by this guy, the better. Just like Jeremy, you brought this to my attention, and then I realized that every one of these protests we go to, guess who's there? Not Gen Z and Alpha. They're doing their own work. Okay, it's boomers that are like, oh shit, my retirement's gone. I regret voting for Trump. That's who we have to deal with now.
Let me give everybody some. I don't want to just be down, right? And what you said is the actual good news. And let me bring it home here. I want everybody to understand that right now, what you said in the beginning, Jeremy, was most people never had to think about the government being their enemy, the government actively hating them, right? There are a few groups who understand that, Black folks and Native Americans, and at some point also Japanese, but they have had reparations since. I guess maybe they've made enough money for the country. So here's the deal. I promise you, the kind of fight that's needed to beat authoritarianism is the kind of fight that only comes from being hung multiple times, from losing sons and daughters, from not being able to sit down in encounters, not being able to go to the right school, from being killed for whistling at a white woman. The kind of fight that it needs is the kind of fight that no one has yet, because they have yet to experience the fire. I guarantee you the stupidity of autocracy, the stupidity of this type of a regime is the backlash. What will inevitably come with every fascistic state is always either the world revolts or the people inside that country revolt. But you always wonder, well, how did they get there? Well, because before they were there, they were comfortable. Germany was effed up because they did it twice and stayed poor for 80 years, and so everybody's just ready for whatever. But for
they had
the most
nothing
part,
else to lose.
They got nothing to lose. But for the most part, Americans don't understand that having a bus show up on time is fucking comfortable.
Right.
True.
You're right.
You don't know that yet. You don't know that yet.
So really, we got too complacent. We're so comfortable, we don't know what suffering is. It's like seeing the refugee South Africans with 15 suitcases. No one's suffering.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They believe that they're suffering. They're willing to leave their country to come over here. I promise you, give them 5 days without food and say Trump did it, and they will fuck that dude up. I promise you.
But we shouldn't have to get there. That shows how dumb we've gotten in this country. It's an easy, logical thing.
The good news is we have an idiot for an authoritarian.
You're right.
We have
massive idiot.
The massive. Everybody else has tried to hide it. Hitler was. Sorry, I said the word. Hope we don't get kicked off of YouTube. The H guy had decency and the smarts to get Goebbels, right? Everybody else, every other intelligent narcissist realized that things had to be hidden. We have a 5-year-old imbecile, uneducated, dummy, juvenile, delinquent, Dunning-Kruger specimen in the White House who also happens to be an authoritarian, the worst type of government for the people. It's only going to be a minute or two, guys. I promise you.
Yeah.
If you
I
don't
agree.
know why every single march is bigger than the last, if you don't know why it took the H-Man 5 years to just begin to do the bad stuff, it's because he was smarter than Trump. Trump is dropping bombs on everybody that loves him, and only the ones that have worn out knees from carpet burn from slobbing him for so long will take the longest. But I guarantee you, when the shelves are empty for long enough, those streets are going. He will not win this. So if you're worried out there, guys, people are going to get hurt. Yes, people are going to get deported. Yes, people have already been hurt. Yes. But just like the civil rights movement, at some point, Black people realize we're hurting anyway. It doesn't matter
It won't matter
anymore.
then. Right.
It doesn't matter anymore.
When white people feel like Black people feel, fuck, watch out.
It's over.
Yeah.
It's over.
Well, we always say on our show, like we're guaranteed to suffer as a country. So, like, are you going to suffer on your terms, or are you just going to sit back and suffer on their terms? I'm like, fuck that. If I'm going to go out, I'm going out on my terms. I mean, this is. Go ahead.
There's that, and also my feeling is that for me personally, I don't have a damn thing to lose. I don't have any children. I don't have a life. I don't have a nest egg. I don't have anything, honey. So come at me, bro. Like, you and I are going to go down. I'm going to take a few of you with me, and I'm cool with that. But the other thing I wanted to bring up, because I can't stay on very long tonight because I have to be at work at 7 o'clock in the morning. But I just wanted to say that on Saturday, I'm down here in Tampa, Florida. We have a little town near us called Plant City. I don't know if y'all are familiar with the area. If anybody's from Florida, in the comments section, holler at your girl. I want to hear where you're from. But anyway, I was driving out of Tampa. We were going to do two things, right? We had our range hood broke. We wanted to replace it with another probably used range hood because we don't have a lot of money. And the other thing we wanted to do was stop at, like, one of the little plant shops or whatever out there and get some things for the yard and maybe, some fresh fruit, fresh vegetables, whatever. So Plant City is our only area here that is super, super farming. Like, everything is agricultural. We have the strawberry festival out there, all of those things. So we drove out on Saturday to do these couple of little errands, and I noticed something, okay? As we were driving, all the places, you can see through the fields and see into everybody's yards and houses. All of a sudden, there was that black construction fabric. Y'all know what I'm talking about when they're building things and they put that up?
Yep.
Everybody had it over their fences, okay? Could not see them in their yards, could not see the front of their houses, could not see their vehicles. Very, very strange. I'm sure you can guess why. Then we go there, and every person that I see now, every person who works out there is someone not from here, right? A brown-skinned person, God forbid. And we're driving around, and they all look scared out of their minds. Now, as I'm driving back, we stop at the appliance place. I get out of the car, and the people who are normally running the place are not there. But there's a Hispanic family there that's kind of running things. So we get out, we look around, we didn't find what we needed, wish them well, went on our way. As we get on the interstate, we go down a couple of exits. They shut down I-4 in Plant City. They were directing people off of the interstate. They were going through cars. Now, mind you, I'm in the car and I'm shaking. I am shaking because I can see what's happening. And I know this is not right. This is not normal. Plant City is in between, like, Tampa and Lakeland, if you're familiar with the area. So they're going through cars. They're doing these things. I'm driving in the opposite direction. I'm shaking. I can barely take it. I have to pull the car over and throw up because I was so upset by the whole thing. So then today, okay, I walk into work and I hear the girls next to me talking, and they're like, oh, the Border Patrol was on I-75 at Brandon, meaning like Route 60 is the nearest exit. In that area, the Border Patrol was sitting on the highway. Everybody's slowing down. They had people pulled out of their cars. So these things are things that we do need to talk about when we see them. I cannot believe how few people are talking about it around here. The entire interstate was shut down going one way. Why? Can I prove that that's why? No, because I was driving in the opposite direction and I couldn't slow down and I couldn't stop. And even if you turned around, you would not have been able to get back on the interstate anyway. So these things have been so upsetting to me, and I will admit to y'all, I've been so, drowning with this new job that I've not been very up on, what's going on in the headlines lately because I've just been too busy. But those types of things we need to talk about, we need to get into, and we need to be spotlighting them. And when you see them, if you are able to safely get your phone out, videotape what you're seeing, get it on the internet. Let us know if you see something. Please message our page. Tell us. We have 9 different social media apps that we are on. We have ways of getting the word out and letting people know. And those things are super, as a child of an immigrant, those things are super important to me. And I just wanted to mention that because, like I said, I can't stay on very long, but it was something that happened over the weekend. And I know that of my poor Sons of Liberty team knew how upset I was. I felt bad that I dumped it on them. And then I was like, but I still have to drive all the way home. So I couldn't really respond back. But thank you guys. Good looking out. I know you guys put up the information on the internet. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But it's important to talk about, and it's important to put a spotlight on so people really know what's going on.
Hey,
on our Discord server, we have a channel under helpful resources that's called Winter Weather Alerts. It's set so that only certain people can post in it. So you can, if you're on our Discord server, you can message your regional rep, your state rep, your adjutant, and they can post it. It needs to have a documented source. You can't just say, hey, whatever, if you got pictures, add that. If you've got links to anything, add that, post it there. And I'm going to work on reconfiguring that into something that will actually push out to the entire server. So that way, at the very least, we've got it on ours. And maybe there's a way to push a reverse social media feed where it comes off of our Discord and goes to like our only socials that post to like all of the different static posts. Maybe, I don't know.
There's also I realize I see a bunch of people watching from the political drain side. Guys, very, very real, very, very important. Just like when we put up the video about red cards, the PSA is Sons of Liberty has a Blue Sky channel, right? So you can hit us up there if you see something, you don't know how to get it to us. Facebook, of course, Sons of Liberty is where it started. If you're on Sons of Liberty and you don't know, Political Drain has a Blue Sky. I'm not on Facebook, but you can find me there. If you see these types of things, get it to one of those. If you're not already on Discord, get on Discord. If you see it and you just happen to remember that you went back, that you just so happen to see this live, Sons of Liberty on Discord, Facebook, Political Drain on Blue Sky, right? Like, we got you. Don't just now when you spread something by yourself, that's what's up. But the reason why we're here, the good thing about having a network like this, the good thing about having VoR podcast here, right, is that we work together. So then we can shoot it to them, and then they can shoot it to someone else. Like we are constantly building these networks. We got to speak to each other. Outstanding work. What was that we were looking at? Sorry, was that a map? There was like a map, a red dot. Was that?
Oh,
the map.
Yeah, I just did a screen share. I pulled up Plant City in Google Maps and then just shared it to the page so that people had a frame of reference.
Something that's kind of funny is that whole story kind of got me on a weird mental train, right? And I ended up in something that I always hated. Everyone that was really involved in the news and remembers the whole 9/11 and everything that happened after that with our insanity. If you see something, say something bullshit. Always used to, like, it was literally just, if you see a brown person, let someone know you see a brown person. Okay, we all know that's what that was. But now it's like one more thing maybe we could steal back from the assholes. If you see ICE, if you see anyone, cops, anyone, if you see normal people on the street treating other people like shit, if you see racism, bigotry, misogyny, if you see something horrible happening, stay safe, stay at a distance, But unfortunately, we're at the point where we need to start documenting this as citizens because they're attacking our history. We know they're erasing our military history, the contributions from so many groups of people throughout our military, and they're going to attack regular history next. We know that they're already infiltrating schools, and they're teaching in, what is it, Idaho or somewhere that the election in
Oklahoma.
2020 was stolen, right? Okay.
Oklahoma.
So like Oklahoma, thank you. So, unfortunately, everyone can do something. And I saw a comment in the chat that made me, people that have watched our show have kind of asked that as well. So I like to say this. You can help even if you don't want to go to a protest, even if you don't want to get out and fight someone on your front step. There are ways to do it. Get involved with organizations that you can do bookkeeping for. You could send messages for. You could run emails for. You could do something to let organizations have more freedom to do more things with more people helping behind the scenes. So everyone can help. There is a place for you if you want to fight this fascism. There is, I promise you.
Definitely.
And for Sons of
Everyone
Liberty,
can do something.
we
Everyone
do have
can do something.
a huge organization of people working and coordinated together to communicate information, just to get memes that are great for the page that we may not have seen. Every little piece of it is something to fight back. And if there's any experience we've learned from the last 20 something years with, once in a lifetime disaster after once in a lifetime disaster, is that you really need an action that you can take, however big or small, to get your mental health space. It needs to be that if you feel that you're involved and doing something about the world, you're going to be in 10 times better headspace than you would otherwise.
Yeah, for sure.
And that goes into. Oh, go ahead, sir.
Oh no, I was gonna say, if you guys want to feel, I don't inspire. Like, we've been live streaming protests. Like, I've been to 6 this year so far. I've been to 2 in my state capital, 2 in my hometown, 1 in New York, and 1 in Mike and I went into DC together. I mean, we're trying to bring it to you. You know what I mean? Because corporate media is not doing it. So small channels like us are trying to at least broadcast the resistance. You know what I mean? As futile as our efforts may seem sometimes.
I think more people need to post more of themselves. Like, obviously this comment specifically about people that do go to protests, but I think something else someone said in your chat I was just reading is just posting memes or pictures, things that can spread information, but also things that can inspire, like you said about just helping gives your mental health like a break. It gives you not a boost of serotonin in a cheesy way, but in a holy shit, we've been so deprived of this. This feels great. You will be amazed at if you just link up with some people and find a way to help that is invisible to everyone outside. It's almost like you're playing a game on the assholes. They can't see you, but you can see them. It will help you tremendously. There are ways to help.
The Anti-Fascist Book Club. One of the best ideas I ever heard.
That's awesome.
From I don't remember his name now. Give me the name.
Chris Goldsmith.
Chris Goldsmith.
The Chris Goldsmith. He came and spoke with us. Oh my God. Just so simple, so perfect. If you can get 3 people to organize to go to a library and be the Anti-Fascist Book Club, to read and enjoy it and grow it and have a team, what are you doing at the same time? Logistics, leadership, roles, understanding transportation, as well as learning, as well as protecting a library. Because when they know that you're there and that's what you're about, they want you there, and they do things to make sure that you come often. That one thing alone, if I promise you, once you start thinking like that, start thinking small scale and growing, you'll be surprised what you can do to help. And that mental health piece is like not just the serotonin, like you said, but it's the fact that you have agency.
Yes.
Most people feel like they have no agency. There's nothing they can do. Just kill me now. Start that. See how it feels on a Monday or a Sunday or a Thursday or a Saturday. Start that and see how it feels when you get a 3rd person or a 4th or a 5th, and then you start to assign books, and then you start to assign who's driving who, and then you realize
so much.
Man, I promise you, it was a revelation when he said it that not everything has to be a DC march.
It was a great interview. If you get a chance to, if you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. My very favorite part of that video is at the end where Tim's a little tipsy and he calls him Joe. Oh my God, honey, I about fell out. It was hilarious. I was like, Tim, did you just call him Joe? I think his name is Chris.
Don't look surprised. You know how this goes.
But anyway, sorry, I just had to make you guys laugh in the middle of this. Tim's like, what did I do?
That's funny.
Who did I call Joe?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Goldsmith. At the end of the night, he's like, all right, Joe.
That's funny.
It was so
Some
funny.
of the responses, I don't recall at all, guys.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
You can either confirm or
Call
deny.
my beer.
That's funny.
Yeah, I see you started with beer today, man. You're like taking it light. I like that.
Oh, someone suggested an indigenous people's book club. So maybe what you do is
now
you have different
talking.
tiers, right? Because there's a lot of groups that have a lot of wonderful words for you to read.
Yep.
Brenna, we're into it. Good suggestion, Brenna.
You know, someone
I
else
love that shit. Also
said,
promoting
you know,
reading.
you know,
Do a
read
little
about
free
times-
library with anti-fascist books.
You read about these times in history, about times when people were, you know, at a nation's collapse or at a nation going over into totalitarianism, and you think, oh man, if I was there, I'd have done this, and that. Well, guess what? Here's your chance. Step up to the plate.
Yeah.
No,
Anyway, if you're not willing to fight for this, what's the point?
They're all liars. All of those Second Amendment, all the Second Amendment chads, those fake triots, those goddamn couch revolutionaries talking about I need my gun because the government might come for me. And right now,
when the government comes for
they
them,
say habeas
please, Arthur
corpus.
Daddy.
Nah, no big deal.
Right.
Nah. I mean, due
People are
process. Nah, not a big deal. Big deal.
But there's a lot coming up too. I think the voices are just. I think there's a lot of protests planned. We were just approached about doing another one with Fight Against Fascism in what was it, Atlantic City?
Atlantic City, June 13th, maybe.
Yeah, honestly, at this point, I can't commit to anything just because financially it's a little bit tough right now. I'd love to go. There's also another big one, I think, being organized by I can't remember the guy's name. He's a veteran.
Well, there's
too.
the June. What's the June
6th or June 8th is
June
one
6th.
that's June 6th.
Anniversary of D-Day.
D-Day.
We're doing we're calling it Operation Overlord. The bonus army.
Nice. I would like to be in DC for that. Like, we have a lot of stuff that we would like to do. We would like to televise as much as the revolution as possible. As like Kendrick Lamar said, the revolution will be televised, and we would like to be the ones televised.
Currently being. Well, no, it's not televised. It's on the internet.
True. I mean, logistically, it's just difficult. I mean, it is. It's a struggle. It's a struggle. We enjoy what we do, and I don't think I'll ever stop doing this at this point. But trying to figure out how to do it's been definitely a bit of a challenge. But there's a lot of good stuff coming up. There's going to be a lot of good stuff coming up. Big stuff. It's going to be a busy month.
Here's the deal. June 6th, gotta go. Or if you can't go, what can you do? I don't want to hear what you can't do. What can you do? Can you babysit somebody's kid so they can go? That's what you do. Can you make calls? Can you handle dispatch on Discord? Can you get vetted and handle something? The deal is, what can you do? I guarantee you, like Sarge always says, the 70% of the warriors, 70% of the battle is support. Only 30% of the people are out there in the field. Can you support? Can you support? And then there's one more thing is what you do to encourage, I'll call it, during the bus boycott, there were people who were making sure that other black people weren't on the bus. Now, they didn't do it violently, but I guarantee you that when Uncle Joe came through to the house, you better not have had a bus pass. Like, we have to hold each other accountable. There were people who had to set up carpooling. Yeah, okay, we're carpooling. Churches had to use buses and their own buses. But we not only work in the action, but we work on motivating and stopping inaction, right?
Yeah.
So there's so many things that we need to do, but we got to be able to hold each other accountable. What are you doing? You're talking to somebody at a grocery store. Hey, what are you doing? And did you know what's happening? You're doing what? Wait a minute. Did anybody hear that? Did you hear what this guy said? He's not doing nothing. Like there has to be social accountability, just like there is on the right. More people on the right are afraid to speak because they know that the minute they come out and say, hey, maybe black people are human, they will get discord. Right?
That's a big if.
Oh no, we can't have that. We can't have that. Right? So we have to be just as vigorous in our motivation, in our encouragement of others. When we do boycotts, when we do these marches, we hold each other accountable, and I promise you, it's going to continue growing.
And I just want to say, everything that you can do, even if it seems like a small thing, is doing something. There is a lot of money that's being spent and put out through a lot of really slick social media consultancy firms to convince you that there is nothing you can do. They'll wrap it up and to make it seem like it's a lefty group saying that it's over, you're defeated. It's the right.
Yeah.
It always is. And they know that if you step up and join in on this, they're in trouble. And they're going to keep trying everything they can to try to convince you to stay at home, to do nothing, to sit there and take it.
They're the same ones that like to tell you how you're overreacting to everything. Those are the people.
Right.
Right. I'm overreacting. Sure.
This is about community, right? We have to build a real community of resistance. We have to understand that it is us against the fascists. That is it. Whatever you look and see in the other person that doesn't look like you, don't worry about it, because you're both screwed, because the fascists are coming for you and what you have and your future and your democracy.
I got a private comment about when Doug was talking about the anti-fascist book club.
A lot of comments.
I had to enunciate book club because apparently somebody misheard him and thought he said anti-fascist butt plug.
I feel like someone should put those out at this point.
Are we announcing some new merch there, Big Sarge?
The anti-fascist the anti-fascist butt plug is
sometimes
underway.
marketing just falls right in your lap.
Right, we're
available
still
at the Sons of Liberty store.
I know the merch store I could sell like panties and like swimwear and stuff like
now
that.
I want to make a meme.
That's
about
funny.
that. I'm going to do that.
I don't think. Well, you know what? Let me check the product list real fast.
No refunds. Yeah.
Just don't ask for mine. Don't ask for mine. I'm keeping it. All right. My anti-fascist butt plug is
That's hilarious.
Log home.
I gotta get into what is that Discord? We have a Discord page, but we don't know.
We just literally by that means we have a name.
Yeah, we have a page and a Discord page, but we have literally no idea how to use Discord. We use every other platform, but Discord is not one that we don't typically take advantage of. So,
do you think the AI app will let me make a butt plug? I don't think it will.
Probably not. I doubt it.
I'm gonna type it in, see what I get. Nope, butt is not allowed. I'm gonna have to get clever.
Well, which one are you using? Because there are some where there are no keyword locks on it.
So I'm gonna type in conical plug and see what comes up.
You'll be out.
Nope.
Come up with a great way to. Yeah, Grok would probably do it. That's a good one.
Silicone wine cork.
Yeah, Grok would probably do it. It probably already has, actually. I'm pretty sure some MAGAs probably had asked it to do something like that.
No, I'm about.
They were making
rabbit hole. I don't.
They were making when Grok started making images. They were making Mickey Mouses like Adolf Hitler. So it was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you could do whatever you want with Grok. That's a nightmare. Jesus.
You know what I'd like to get off the butt plugs? I want to talk about you guys.
Context, sir. Context.
Yeah. Phrasing.
I mean, wait a minute. Hold on. Now that I should have made that more clear. Now that I'm off the butt plug, I saw that you guys had a live about you were naming and shaming and also congratulating the Dems who were doing something and those who weren't. I think it's important before we go. Yeah, I still got time, a lot of time. But I think it's important. I want you to, what did you guys come up with? Because you guys had like a 2-hour-long show about that. I only saw a bit of it. What's your assessment, man? Who's got it going on out here? Who's supporting us? Who's failing besides Schumer, who's the obvious fail?
Yeah. Well,
what did you guys get? What was your guys get to in that one? I didn't get to watch it all.
Well, there's specific ones that seem to be stepping up. I mean, like AOC, Jasmine Crockett, you got Maxwell Frost, Bernie Sanders is always a good one. A lot of the younger ones. Yeah, a lot of the younger ones. Oh, yeah, Chris Murphy. He just destroyed. Was that Kristi Noem?
Yeah.
Is that the clip I'm thinking of?
Yep.
Yeah. There's a lot, but there's too many corporate Democrats that are still more concerned about their bottom line and their job position than they are, doing the job we elected him. And don't get me started on Fetterman. Jesus.
Yeah. Oh, the heel turn.
I think the thing that we're going to have to, we don't have as much power over as we should, which is, I know this is kind of contradictory, but like we don't have a choice in who runs the Democratic Party. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to continue to vote for Democrats, all you could do is vote for the ones that you believe are on the right side of things and will fight for you. Right now, it seems like the Democratic leadership is not ready for that. But there are people, and it's hard to see because the media doesn't cover it. You're going to have to find some of the stuff on your own. It's boring to filter through congressional hearings. There's a lot of good sites that show you stuff and update you on what these people are saying. And as much as I love it that they're calling out these lunatics and morons and fascists, they don't have any power. These people are on committees. They're not committee leaders. These people are, holding them accountable with words and embarrassing them for the whole world to see on camera daily. But they can't outvote these people. So I think what we're going to have to do is we have to find a way to win elections with people that we can trust for the long term, because the young people now are going to be the leadership in 10, 20 years. I'll be excited when AOC, for example, Jasmine Crockett are the leadership, the elder leadership of the Democratic Party. I don't know what it takes to get there, but there are people out there.
I'll also say that a number of these votes and committees, especially on the House side, are very, very close votes. And there are some things that are becoming so toxic, even those who are in districts. I mean, they can read polls. They may say otherwise, but they absolutely can read the polling data. And they have seen the pitch swings. Like we're talking 20, 15 points on some of these districts. They know they're going to be out of work if they're too tightly tied to Trump. And they will buck the system on some of these votes. The key is holding their feet to the fire.
Self-preservation is serious for these guys.
Yes.
And even one of the Democratic House members from Oregon came back to his town hall, started talking about a general strike. Now, if you guys don't know how absolutely batshit crazy and insane that is for corporate, for our normal leadership who would never, that's damn near revolutionary talk. And the only reason why someone comes back to their town hall and starts talking general strike is because they see that either it can get them elected or they themselves are on a chopping block, right? So I guarantee you that there's something they can do. Most of them just aren't willing to do it yet. But as they see those numbers go, as they see self-preservation, as they see primaries coming, as they start to realize that Schumer has 17% approval rating.
I hate him. I hate him so much.
Self-preservation is going to kick in. It's going to kick in.
I think you're right, because you can count on greed. So even the ones that aren't on our side, they will act accordingly to save their own asses. You're right. You're right.
Well, not to plug Discord again, but when we're talking about the fact that, you might have to do some research, guess what will help you do that? People who are in your area, people that you are getting to know to help the resistance and to speak out and to do things, they're going to know some of that stuff. And you guys can feed that knowledge to each other. Maybe you know about a candidate they don't know about.
Yep.
You know, so all that stuff feeds into itself, right?
Yeah.
So
I think there's a way out, but it's going to be goopy, twisted, and sticky. I don't know, but...
You know, that will absolutely go, though, with the butt plugs. So, I mean, the book club.
That was brilliant.
The book club.
I forgot I was putting that through AI. Let's not get back to the book plugs.
No.
We'll just call it Goopy Sticky Book Club.
Yeah,
Goopy Sticky
book club. Got it.
Well, since they're looking to ban porn now, we won't have... No, I'm not going to get in there. I'm not.
Sarge, he said he saw you on OnlyFans.
OnlyFams with an M.
Yeah, we call it the OnlyFams with an M, Mike.
Okay, OnlyFams.
I mean, if that's the only place that you saw me outside of our regular stuff, then I'm okay with that because there's nothing that's not safe for work. You got to find me.
If you got it, flaunt it.
Oh,
they saw one video of you in your shorty shorts, and they wanted more. They went on to OnlyFans.
That's true. We're still waiting on that calendar, Big Sarge.
I know. What the hell, man? We need Mikey and some shorty shorts. That'll be a calendar that sells, man.
That'd be a good fundraiser you could do.
Right.
Right now, Jeremy and Mike are like, what the hell did we just step into?
This is like basic conversation on our show. It usually ends up.
We have to force ourselves to not go down these exact same ridiculous holes all the time.
Oh yeah.
Let me see. Let me see if I can find the picture.
Look, Mike and Jeremy have to find ways to make money. They don't know that, this is how Sarge.
That's right. They don't know the kind of things that Sarge will do for some coins.
Big Sarge did something to get to this
for democracy.
For freedom.
Also, doesn't this just show you guys how comfortable we are with you that we are already considering you part of the OnlyFans fam?
Nice.
So there you go.
I feel honored. I think. I'm not sure yet.
I'm touched.
Honored.
Oh my
there it
God,
is.
that's amazing.
With the my.
Mostly honored and a tad ashamed.
Oh, that's
so great. I love the meme.
I love the oh my, man. It's so beautiful.
That's
oh
so
my.
good.
That's beautiful. Speaking of oh my.
Where was the oh my? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My full nerd has finally come out. This isn't Star Trek, but it's Star Wars. For the first time, I bought one of these.
Oh, Mike loves those.
I love
Star Wars things. I'm feeling very proud of it. This is Ezra Bridger. So you have to know.
Very
you
nice.
gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta know.
Yeah.
You gotta know.
Rebels is the best. Rebels and Clone Wars are the best Star Wars.
Jabba the Hutt
not anymore. Andor.
I heard. I have to watch it. I'm an idiot.
Oh yeah, tonight. Last 3 episodes coming up in 23 minutes.
And I swear the universe is trying its hardest to especially Matt. The universe is trying its hardest to what do you call it? To spoil the I haven't seen episode 9 yet. And everywhere I look, every time I go on YouTube, I'm like, break the computer, no! Stop it!
It's
101 Easter eggs for this happened exactly in episode 9.
It is an amazing episode. That is why everybody's raving about it.
God, so I turn off my phone now. It's ridiculous. Anyway, sorry. Back to the fascism. What were we talking about?
Apparently, Big Sarge and shorty shorts.
Yeah,
that's how we're beating fascism.
That's a very patriotic picture.
He does what it takes.
Sheldon, what's going on, buddy? I see him in the comments there.
Beat fascism. Wear booty shorts.
That's right. Imagine if we all showed up in booty shorts. They'd have a meltdown.
To dress absolutely ridiculous. Like when we go into battle with these lunatics, they're going to have their little Patriot front shields, and we're all going to be dressed despicably. And they're going to be like, "What do I do against that?"
Right?
Because we have no shame. Can't have shame when you're defending democracy.
I saw a skit where this guy would he had his buddy filming him, and he would basically walk through, like he'd be walking down the street, and he would just see some random guy, and he would he's a little like the short guy, and he would find people, and he would pretend like he's picking a fight with him, and they kind of like step to him, and he'd be like, "Oh, you want to go?" He would like take off his shirt and take off his pants, and he'd be wearing like this tiny little Speedo like thong. And he'd be like, "Let's go!" And the guy would be like,
psychological warfare, baby.
But I don't care. Fun fact, no man wants to fight another man who's naked. I don't care the scenario.
Yes, exactly.
If you ever get in a fight, somebody just drops everything, I'm out. I'm done.
So here's my plan. We all show up wearing Speedos, and when it's time to go, drop trowel, go
in. Let's go. Let's go. I'm down.
Ourselves in baby oil.
There wouldn't be. It would be a route. It would be an audit. They would just do an about face and take off.
I was going to suggest plug mortars, but
no,
whatever.
What would happen is here's the reality, and let's bring it back to reality, guys. Let's say what would exactly happen. Every one of those extra macho guys would get hard. That's what's happening. That's what's happening.
Yeah,
all of them.
I'm already
the reason why they hate all that stuff so much is because secretly down inside they look at that and they just like how they paint Trump and all these extra erotic homoerotic pictures and love it.
He's got like a 14 pack and like pecs the size of beach
right.
balls.
Every one of those chuds would get hard and go right back into their U-Haul to circle jerk on each other. That's exactly what would happen.
I believe it's
and run away for fear of being
all the
outed.
2-inch dicks you could ever imagine.
Hey, I mean, we do know for a fact though that Grindr did crash during the RNC several times.
It does go down.
You thought that was the first time. You thought that was the first time. That's that's at least time number 3.
Yeah,
that's at least time number 3.
How about this? When was Grindr started? That's when.
There it is. There it is. There it is.
That's funny.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, unfortunately, guys, I am running out of time.
As
I was gonna say that's a convenient stopping point is the Speedo battle.
That's usually where we stop.
I mean, where do you go from there? Where do you go from there? Right?
End of the show. So peak content for us.
I'm here. I'm here all week, guys. Here all week.
Launching a new product line.
But thank you very much for having us on, man. This was a lot of fun. Hopefully we can do some more in the future.
We appreciate it.
Well, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, you're all welcome.
Absolutely.
We'll have you on. We'll schedule that.
Definitely.
Yeah. Appreciate that invite too.
Seems like we all have the same sense of humor, so that's going to work.
Oh yeah,
yes,
we're gonna get along great.
We're all gonna get banned off YouTube.
Yep.
I know, right? That's all right. That's okay. Before we. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I was gonna say just before we go, if you guys could visit our Linktree, if you guys want to help us out and support our work at all, we are
absolutely
100% grassroots, small dollar donation kind of organization. We don't even do we don't sell shit on our TikTok. We don't monetize our lives on YouTube. So we do basically all this for free. So any help is greatly appreciated. It's hard out here.
Oh,
Go
Fluid,
check 'em out,
the great
guys.
Speedo Smackdown of 2025.
Hey.
Fucking gold.
Yeah, Linktree link is right there. If you
Thank
see
you,
it.
guys. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for your help. This has been
I am not 100% sure because I can't find it in my email. It's written down somewhere, so I know the answer. I just don't have it off the top of my head. Next Tuesday's guest, I'm not 100% sure who it is. On the 27th, we have Florida candidate Bernard Taylor, who I saw on social media smack talking MAGA, and I was like, I want a man crush on this guy, and so we got him. Working on Andy Kim, and if we can pull that off, that'll be great. Sometime in June, I'm going to be heading out to San Antonio to do an episode of our Civil War documentary series, and then I'm going to be heading down to Beaufort, South Carolina, to go up the Combahee River to retrace Harriet Tubman's raid on Combahee Ferry for another episode of our documentary web series. So if anybody's in Beaufort and you have a boat and you want to hang out with me and my film crew and schlep us around and make a couple bucks, a couple bucks, let me know. And
he'll also be shooting the cowboy hat pictures for the calendar while he's there. It's just the cowboy hat. So
I do have
should all
several
do it.
cowboy
We
hats.
should
I have
do it.
several cowboy hats. I have a lot of props from the Western that I did. So
you do.
I think it's probably going to be August. I'm going to have a live taping of the Drunken Civil War History with Big Sarge episode. So if you can make it down to wherever I'm going to film, come on down. We'll have some drinks. I'll buy the bar out for the night or whatever. I don't know. See if we can make him a deal or something.
Damn.
Oh, yeah.
guys,
and June
man.
6th protest. And I think we might be doing something for June 14th parade. Maybe some Tiananmen Square action.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the military parade.
I'm down.
You gonna run out in your Speedos, block the tanks?
Yep.
I would stop a tank. If I was the tank operator, I would stop if you jumped out in front of me in some Speedos.
This coming
Long
war is going to be weird.
It's gonna be weird. Everybody bring your anti-fascist butt plug. It's going to be weird. It's going to be weird, baby.
Speedos and baby oil, baby.
It's gonna be weird.
If you're gonna link up with us to go to a
Lord,
protest and meet up with us, you need to be on our Discord server because that's how we do our vetting for Signal. So if you're not on the Sons of Liberty Discord, go ahead, get that set up, do the reaction to the Scottish flag and Step 3 channel, get your regional permission set up, and then you'll be good to go.
Nice.
Bam.
That's something we got to figure out.
I can probably help you out with that.
Awesome.
That would be awesome.
All right. That is my time for the night. Thank you, Voice of Reason, for getting on. Excuse me, for getting on the stream with us and talking about butt plugs and Speedos.
Hey, anytime, man.
Some slimy
That's what we're here. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
We're
hold you
always
to
down
it.
for weird conversation.
So generating ideas. This is a think tank situation.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Learning.
Don't forget the actual book club, though, guys. Great idea.
No, the book club is
and Native
Yeah.
American book club. Another great one that came out of this. So
I feel like one of the
please
yip yips when I do that.
don't forget that stuff.
All right.
All right. I'm out of
That's
here.
it for us
Y'all
tonight.
crazy.
2 claps, Sanday Rick.
Woo!